Hello everyone, welcome to episode 6 of this Let's Play series. Now, this city has been moving pretty slowly. We are starting to get built up and the demand is growing. Haven't really paid much attention to many of the tabs like the healthcare, the taxes, the education, all of that. We've just been building roads, layouts. Started to branch into farming, which we placed two farms last time, which isn't a lot, and done some of the zoning areas, I guess, or the road layouts. Hopefully in this episode we're going to start expanding a little bit more. Still going to be building out some of these farming areas up the top, and then hopefully the zoning will progress forward. We'll start expanding a bit more and building out the areas that we've got before we start moving on into other areas. So I'm going to move over to this section up in the corner here and just think about what I want to do with the farms, because at the moment I just place these as a start just to generate some sort of product for the city, I guess. So what I aim to do is have this section up in this area where all these trees are as a farming area, and the main part of the city is going to be opposite ends of this lake or river or whatever it is going through, and this middle island here, out of the three in picture, the middle one will be where the city is built up essentially. So that being said, I'm going to leave it on play purely because I want some of the demand to start growing and I want the city to start developing a bit more in the background, and then we will figure out what to do with this area. Now, my plan is to make this city as authentic as possible. Therefore, I want to have gravel roads that lead to the farming areas, which might be a problem as they have less power line capacity and they support less traffic compared to the bigger roads. So that might be an issue, but what I may end up doing is building a 2-lane road and then having gravel roads coming off with the farming areas on top of that. So what I might do here, and I know I just said I'd leave the game on play, but I need to destroy a road, which might end up causing some issues. So I'm going to destroy this road here and potentially bring a 2-lane road just going up. Or maybe not. Let's have a look at what we've got here. I think a 2-lane road's a good option. Actually, if we bring this up perhaps to maybe around there, just for now. It's not straight aligned with this road, but that's fine. Not everything needs to be the straightest, most aligned road. I may also, just seeing how this looks, if we bring this across 90 degrees, for some reason that's cut through the actual road there. I don't know what's happening. Let's just have a look. It's decided to create a crossroad for some reason. We'll delete that. So we've made that almost sectioned off in its own little area or whatever you want to call it. And then I think what's going to happen is I'm going to bring some gravel road off in this direction. Do I want to join it up there though? That's the question. For example, if I connect it to there, and then we could have some gravel roads coming off of here. And that's not actually what I wanted to do, so please ignore that. I want to upgrade this road to a 2-lane road. which is fine. And then the problem is I'm going to need to move these industry roads now to make, unless I keep it as a gravel road. This is where the challenge comes in. I'm just unsure of how to go about without making this look silly, because if you look there, the road sort of ends dead and then we turn into a gravel road with the pavement. So what I could do is add the 2-lane road, which I think that is. Let's just check what that's done. 2-lane road, 30 without a sidewalk. So essentially that then turns into a gravel road. And we head up to the farming area. And I'm wondering if I put a roundabout in here, if that will follow the same road type. It looks like it has, because then what I want to do is bring this gravel road out straight from there as well. So essentially what we're going to have is 2 gravel roads just running out into these areas for industry. I don't know how they're going to be formed yet. We'll deal with that as it comes along. So I want to put that gravel road going that way. And I might actually join these 2 up. I've just got to make sure that it aligns correctly with the other road without looking silly, which I think there will. Then if we join that to the end, and we have kind of a section there where it's going to start this area, and this might be an issue in the future of the game. I know there'll be some experts as such watching this saying that when they start transporting goods, these roads are not going to be effective. And that might be true. I'm going more for the look of the city at the moment rather than how effective this is going to be. So we might end up having to demolish all of this and reconstruct the whole area. But for now, I think it's a good idea to continue with this. Now, before I move on, I just want to look at the industry tab, which I believe is in zoning, and try to understand what we're doing with the production of this area. I don't think it actually tells me in this tab. If we have a look here, so actually we've got available wood 11.4 kilotons, utilization 5.8 tons, and renewal rate. So we're not actually using much of this wood, but I think that counts for the whole of the map rather than just this little area. So there's plenty more options for this section. Let's just click on this individual. They've got medium noise pollution, 4 employees, and 95% efficiency. Level 1 out of 5. It doesn't tell me how much it's producing, which is interesting. I was hoping it would give me the figures of what this is producing a month. That must be in another tab, so let's have a look. Production, there we go. So we're producing 5.8 tonnes and a deficit of 30 tonnes a month, which is interesting. So I think we've got the option here to build that up a little bit more. I don't know whether that means, this is one of the things I'm unsure on. I don't know whether by extending the zone of this area, which for some reason it's not giving me the option to do anymore. It might be on this section. So where you drag these nodes, I don't know whether that means this can produce more and it can level up, or I need to place more buildings that cover that industry. So let's bring this up to there. Now it does say, I'm going to just get this in line, harvestable resources 302 tonnes. So it looks like that means it's producing more just by extending that area. But then do I need another building? Can I place this building somewhere else to do more forestry? I'm very unsure of how this works. That's why I want to be careful before I go extending all these areas out. Crazy amounts. So this area is saying harvestable resources 0. And that is not increasing. I don't know whether that means, let's have a look. Efficiency 95%. That's very odd. So I'm going to keep this as it is for now, because I'll see how this goes with this section, and then we might put some more farming areas in this middle bit and build out a bit further into the woods and add some more forestry sections. That being said, there's one thing actually I want to take care of that hasn't been done yet, and that's spending the... I'm just trying to figure out which tab it's in. I think it might be in progression. That's spending these points, the development points, because I haven't actually done that yet. And in the last couple of episodes, I've been saying, oh, I need to advance to unlock road services. I need to unlock this and unlock that. And I didn't actually realise you do that by spending the development points. So I'm going to start spending some of them, as I have 10. The first one I'm going to get is advanced road services, because I want to be able to control how the traffic flows. I don't think I need... I don't know why roundabouts here is an option, because I have roundabouts already. It might unlock more options maybe. We'll leave that for now. Electricity, I guess we can unlock further. Emergency battery station. Produces low noise pollution. I'll leave that for now. I'm not too sure if I need that. Water treatment plant could be a good option. Health and death care, a crematorium and a hospital. I think those both would be good to have. Garbage, I think that's going to become an issue. But do we go for the green recycling or do we go for the incineration plant? That's going to be a tough call to make. Education, I'm not too worried about yet. I will progress that later. Emergency services. One thing I do want to get to is the helicopter depot, purely because natural disasters are on and this city has a lot of trees. So if we get a fire breakout, we're going to need the helicopter depot to deal with that. But that would be spending a lot of points. Police, we've got welfare office and headquarters. We can unlock trains and boats by the looks of it, and park maintenance. So there's a lot here to consider. I think the first step, I think we're going to go with the recycling centre. So we will unlock that. I think let's have a look at the electricity again. No, we'll leave the electricity for now. I want a water treatment plant. Or actually, do I? So that's good for green energy, but I don't think we're in need of that yet. We're not depositing too much waste. So I think we'll do the crematorium and the hospital. Education we don't need. Fire service, I think I'm going to... Let's unlock the fire station and the fire watchtower. And then I've got one more point which I'll use for this helicopter depot when I get the next amount of points. And I'm also going to unlock trains, I think. There we go. So that's all development points spent. So that unlocks much more for us to do in this city. Obviously the trains and everything is not going to be something done in this episode because I still need to configure the actual city first and we need to start advancing. And one of the things that I did realise, which as I've told everybody watching in the previous episodes, I'm not new to the game, but I'm definitely newer than most people. So I'm learning some of this stuff as we play. And I didn't realise you actually advance the milestones here by earning experience points. And to earn those experience points, you need to place buildings like unique buildings, fire stations, hospitals to make the citizens happy to then build the experience. Whereas I thought it was actually the amount of citizens you get which contributes to going up the milestones. So I made a mistake there. And now we're going to need to start placing some of these buildings. So I'm going to press play, and I am ignoring these issues of customers and rent because it's not something I want to deal with yet. But the first thing I want to place is a couple of signature buildings, which is under this tab. So we've got Pop Musician Mansion. I think it would be good to place this somewhere near the water's edge, if I can. Or maybe it would work in this section here. I'm going to place it here actually. I think this is a good place. There we go. That's one of the signature buildings constructed, and I did get experience for that. I don't know who the actual pop musician is, but well, we'll leave that. We'll just assume it's some random person. And the other signature building we've unlocked is the Corundum Condos. However, I believe you can only build one of these of every type. So I don't know whether we want to do that yet, but 500 XP in this area. I think we should build this. We've got some other condos built in this area, so let's reserve this section. And there we go, up a milestone straight away, which is exactly what we wanted. So the progression panel, 1,200,000 we've got for that, which is good. 5 development points and 7 tile permits, which is quite a lot. North American mixed housing, EU mixed housing, vegetable farming, coal mining, communications, mailbox. That's interesting. So we actually have to, by the looks of this, place mailboxes on every street. Post office, radio mast, pre-release programs. Wow. There is an incredible amount of thought into the details in this game. Like to add mailboxes in the streets. I mean, that could be, if I sat here and did this in this Let's Play, which is going to be something we do, it could take the whole episode to plan out where to put mailboxes. There's just so much to do in these cities. And I feel like, I don't know what it's like from a watching perspective, but from a playing perspective, I feel like this is taking forever to build out this city. I don't feel like we're getting anywhere at the moment. But there's just so much to do, and I haven't done half of what's needed yet. But with that being said, I want to continue, we've got demand for industrial, and I want to continue some of that on this section up the top here. Because we do have a demand for it. And I'm just going to fill all of those areas. I'm not too worried. I might put commercial in front of that section I've just built, and then we'll start graduating into, gradually moving into residential here again, which still has not really been constructed. The demand isn't there. So let's take a look at what we have to build. We've got a hospital which costs 775,000 a month, which is an incredible amount of money compared to the medical clinic. Wow. The crematorium, 45,000 a month. it does have pollution, which means I don't really want to put it next to the cemetery, but I could put it next to one of the hospitals. I'm not going to place it just yet. And the recycling centre, this one's going to be difficult because I don't want to place it so far away from everyone where it doesn't actually reach people in time, but I don't want to place it close to anything like residential areas. Perhaps it could fit on the edge up here. Let's put it here on the edge. How much does it cost a month to run? 160,000, 15 garbage trucks. I'm going to put it on the edge here. And I think that's a pretty good place to keep it. It still has good access, and I think what I'm going to do is perhaps add a road in here with a bridge. I'm going to put a bridge over this section coming onto this road so that has direct access. If we just pause this a second. Basically, you want the trucks to have direct access to the areas that they're coming to. And if we look at the moment, over here where I've just built this recycling centre, the cars have to go all the way around the outside to get to this section here, which we do not want. So I'm going to put a roundabout here, and then we're going to construct our first land bridge, I guess, of the series, which is going to be interesting. Now, I don't know whether to do this straight or have it as a curved bridge, because having it straight, I don't know if that's going to look very good. Let's try and see. So if we bring the road out slightly, and then from here, again, I can't see because of these ridiculous black marks. I'm just trying to make sure. Let's bring the elevation up again, because I think this is going to need to be curved, because it needs to go a certain distance before you actually raise the elevation. So for example, let me go this way. And then if I can raise this now. So you can actually put, that's interesting. So I'm just going to come back out. I didn't realise you can place the supports directly on the road, on the pathway. So I think if we put it here, and it doesn't automatically snap to that level. If we bring it to that section, that works. And then I did think already that I built the post on this side, but it might not. Let's bring it down there, and then do we have it going straight into here? Slope too steep, so we have to have it. So that's odd. The slope is actually too steep to go down that way. So I'm going to see if I can bring it in here, and then see if we can bring it down lower. Slope too steep. Yeah, so this isn't looking as good as I wanted it to. And I mean, look at that. What's happening there? Surely that's got to be a bug in the game. There's no way that I'm not happy with the way that looks. So we're going to get rid of that because it just doesn't look good. It's tricky in areas like this because there's such a short space to work with. And I don't know whether we should go underground. I don't think that's a good idea. And I don't want to connect this road because this is meant to be a free-flowing road for traffic. What I could do is bring this out alongside this road and then start raising if we go like that, and then let's have a look at how that looks. Apart from this terrible design here, whatever's happened on this road, because I'm pretty sure the game would not do that if it's meant to be correctly designed to go on a bridge. I'm sure it wouldn't. But I think, let me destroy this section and come out just a bit further to there. And then, if I mimic that on this side, and bring it in there, something's overlapping here. Let's have a look at what's happened. See, now this is where I'm slightly confused at how the game works here, because why is this, unless it's because it's making it a U-turn, but it sort of expanded the sides and then made the road next to it push out the sidewalks. So I think again, we're going to delete that. And that road still, for some reason, now got strange sidewalks. So let's just see if I can upgrade that. See, as soon as I upgrade that, those sidewalks change again. It's very odd. I feel like this is almost a bug in the game. I could be wrong, but I don't feel like it's meant to do that. So let's bring this out just a little bit further. I think I'm going to toggle snapping off. See if we can just 90 degrees. A little bit further. And then I'll bring the elevation down. And I think that should work. And then if we bring it in this way and put a roundabout right there, and I did not mean to do that. I've just destroyed a house, which is very frustrating. Why has that destroyed that house? It's removed zoning from that area, which is really not what I wanted to happen. However, it's done now, and it's a case of, do I leave that roundabout there now, or do I remove it? That's very frustrating. I think I'm going to remove that roundabout. And then put the zoning back in. It's already zoned in. I don't like having houses destroyed. And I think that works. I actually like the way that looks now. It's a lot better than I thought it would turn out. And hopefully, when we press play, cars and traffic start using it. I will need to go in and adjust the street option. I just need to see where we get the road, advanced road tools, which is there. I just need to see some of these stop signs, no left turn, no right turn, crosswalk. We can add grass, which is nice. trees, lighting, sound barriers, traffic lights. I was under the impression that you could ban cars from parking on the side of roads, but I didn't see that option in there. So we'll leave that for now. That's okay. So I'm fairly happy with that. It might look a bit odd the way it's shaped, but I could have gone longer with this road, flattened it out a bit more, but I think for what it is, for what it does, it works. So we will leave that section as it is there. Fire and rescue, we have nothing. So, do we want a firehouse or a fire station? I'm thinking a firehouse for one of these small areas, and I'm thinking of putting it next to the police station up here, which covers all of these areas. If we place it on the main road, maybe, will it still have the same effect? Yes, it will. I think the main road is better. I might place it on this side actually, so they can access the roundabout straight away. There we go. Firehouse. Now, one of the things I like in this game is you can actually select the district that these... I've only created one district here, but you can select where the emergency services cover, which is nice because previously you'd have to place fire stations every second street to make sure that they covered every area. But now you can actually just place one on a main road and then choose the area you want it to cover, which is very helpful. Now we are in the need for some commercial, so I'm just going to add that in up here while we wait. I'm not sure what we're waiting for, but while we play, I mean. I'm still getting complaints of high rent over here, but I think I'm going to leave that for now. And we'll destroy this building because I think it's abandoned. And I think the last one of those that was built there was abandoned too, probably because they're right next to the industry. Now, I don't feel like the demand for population is growing as quick anymore. And I feel like we need to do something about it. We are starting to lose money again, which has just changed. Possibly because service upkeeps by the looks of it. Because I've added the fire station and... what's this here? Not enough customers. I've added the fire station in, which has increased the amount of services we need to pay. And there's obviously a lot of roads here that aren't being used that we're paying for upkeep. So it's expected. Now, let's have a look at the communications tab. Post office, I think I'm going to leave for now. I don't think it's important. I think a radio mast is a good idea. Transmits mobile data, radio traffic and TV signals in case of emergencies. Which I think will be good to have. However, where do we place this? I don't believe... the yellow marks, I think, is the coverage. I don't think it's... there is noise pollution, but I don't think it's actually... the yellow mark isn't the pollution. I think it's just the coverage. So we could place this somewhere. The problem is it needs to be where all the residents are, but it can't be too close to them. So this is going to make it tricky unless I place it here. I'll leave that for now. I know those of you watching will be like, you're just not putting anything down, you're not doing anything. There's an accident up the top here. But I think it's important not to rush and start draining money, because I've now dropped to losing a lot more money than I was gaining, which I don't want to happen. Because I've done cities before where you get to a stage where you've built it up so much and then all of a sudden you run out of money, you start taking loans, and then it turns into chaos, and that's not what I want to happen. We haven't unlocked a train station yet because we need to build a rail yard. There's so much to consider building, and I don't feel like this map is the best for considering where to build stuff, because I could put farming in this area over here, and then I've got to put rail yards and power plants and so much industry, which I think I'm going to keep up in this section. I know I said before I wasn't, but I think I am. We've got no demand for zoning at the moment. Everything seems to be running efficiently apart from losing money. So I think the next step, if we look at education, we've got education over here, but we haven't over this side. I have a feeling like the road layout is going to impact quite heavily here. We could place it in the middle of this. We haven't got a high school yet. Just want to see where that covers. So this doesn't seem to have a coverage area like the elementary school does. So does that mean it can be further away? And it can be upgraded as well. But then we've got college, university, and lots of specialised buildings to add. I think in terms of the high school, it can go on the edge here, and then I can keep the sections open. Or if we build a road out to it perhaps and have it on its own. I don't like looking at the view of all grey because you can't see how the buildings might look. I think having a high school down here might be just on the edge here, or even in the middle. We could use this whole area as a high school. I can expand. I can bring the road into this area. The only thing I'm thinking of is, does it reach? And I'm not sure because it's not showing, like when we select elementary school, it covers like the local districts. When I select high school, it's not doing that. So if I place it, are we going to struggle? The only thing I can do is try. So let's build a road for that. And I think we're on train still there. I think I'm going to build it in this section. So I think we're going to come off of this road. Or perhaps off of this road. No, the traffic's quite busy up here. I think we're going to do it off of this road. Let's do it from here. I'm just going to do it as one straight road to there, and then place the high school just here. I'm going to do it further down because I know that you can extend. I think that should be enough space to extend. So let's place it there, and we will bring this road just a bit further up. They're the two car parks. We have a little bit of a hill around the outside, which is fine. I feel like that's a good place to put it. I haven't even pressed play yet. Oh, the city is playing. That's my bad. So students 14 out of 800. If I click on it, it doesn't tell me where people are coming from. So, and you can select operating district. So I think actually this will work. Let's just check the upgrades of the extension wings if they can fit. They can. and I am debating whether to put another elementary school in this section. The problem is it's not going to reach unless if I place it on the edge here. That should just about cover most people. Or do I put it in this section? Because I know I plan to build more residential above. This is where it's tricky. Because wherever I place it, it's missing out on key areas. And I think this area is going to be best. Let's put it here. Again, do I bring a road off or do I just place it? Let's just place it. So now we have an elementary school just in the corner there, which is fine. We have some trees around it. It looks nice. It gives all of this area, which if I go back to education, all of this area with green, which is where I plan to build more residential. This area green, which I'm building residential, and here. So it's actually covering nearly every district. The only areas it's missing where the red is some commercial, which is fine. I'm not too worried about missing 2 or 3 houses. And that should have long-term benefits in the future when people start to earn more, bring more in for businesses. And I'm just seeing if there's anything I can do with pathways here. I'm not sure whether having pathways increases the chances for people in the middle here to get to the elementary school. But I don't think I can fit pathways in there anyway. It's too dense. So for now, I think I'm going to leave it there. I know that not much has been done in this episode, but I think it's important we figured out the extra education, fire, spent the development points. So I think it's all moving a bit more freely. Once the demand starts going up as well, we'll start seeing some more activity in this city, and I'm going to have to spend some money anyway to make some. So I think next one, we'll look more into these tabs and see what else we can add to the city to start bringing it to life and bringing some more people in. We're still growing, 5,000 population, but I think that's a good thing to look at next time. So again, thank you for watching this Let's Play series, and if you do like the videos, please subscribe and drop a like and comment if you want me to do anything different or you want to see something different, and yeah, we'll go from there. So catch you in the next one.